Peace. I'm making this in response to Anton Beatty and others like him who criticize the teachings of the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad, that Master Farad Muhammad is Allah, the Supreme Being. The one thing that Anton Beatty and others like him never deal with is they never talk about the power of Master Farad Muhammad and all the things that were done in the name of Master Farad Muhammad. Like, for an example, there was a USS Thresher, which was a submarine that sunk in 1962. The Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad in this video, in this interview, he was interviewed by Bob Lucas in a white magazine called The Cavalier in 1964. And the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad tells the devils to their face in this interview that Master Farad Muhammad was responsible for sinking this submarine. He tells them about some military planes that he was responsible for causing the crash. And he also talks about a plane of dignitaries that crashed in France. And not only does the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad deal with this, but Minister Malcolm X also makes it publicly known that Master Farad Muhammad was responsible for this plane crash and this submarine sinking. Let's look at it, brothers and sisters. On page 11 of the Cavalier, which is a white man's magazine, it's not like the Ebony or the Jet. This is a white man's magazine. Let's look at what the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad tells them about this Thresher. Now, Bob Lucas on page 11 talks about the different subjects that were going to be discussed by him and the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad. And one of the topics were the fate of the submarine Thresher. It was sunk by Allah in retaliation for the death of a black Muslim by police guns in Los Angeles. And the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad goes on to say, Allah put a chastisement on those white people who killed our brother in Los Angeles. That plane with all those people from Atlanta that crashed in France was Allah's doing. There was also that military plane that crashed in Dakota. And that big submarine was sunk by Allah. He, W.D. Farad, told me, if they kill one of your least ones, I'll kill 10 of their best ones. Let me repeat what the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad told the devil to their face, that his God, Master Farad Muhammad, would do to them if they killed the least one of his believers. He said, he, W.D. Farad, told me, if they kill one of your least ones, I'll kill 10 of their best ones. Now let's don't stop there, brothers and sisters. Let's go to Minister Malcolm X when he was interviewed by Louis Lomax. And I believe this was in 1963. Let's see what he said about this same topic. He says, God has started slapping their planes down from the sky. Last year, 1962, God brought down one of their planes loaded with crackers whose fathers had lynched your and my brothers and sisters. They were from your state, Lomax, down there in Georgia where both you and Mr. Muhammad come from. Now, long before that plane crash, I predicted in Los Angeles that God was going to strike back at the devil for the way white cops brutalized our brothers in Los Angeles. When the plane fell, I said this was God's way of letting his wrath be known. He said, I said this was God's way of letting his wrath be known. I said much of the same thing when that submarine, the Thresher, went down to the bottom of the sea. Now for this I was called names. Some of these Uncle Tom Negroes rushed into print to condemn me for what I had said. But what's wrong with what I said? Everybody has a God and believes that his God will deliver him and protect him from his enemies. Why can't the black man have a God? What's so wrong when a black man says his God will protect him from his white foe. If Jehovah can slay Philistines for the Jews, why can't Allah slay crackers for the so-called Negro? So we see, brothers and sisters, that not only does the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad make it public that Master Farad Muhammad was responsible for sinking this submarine and this plane, Minister Malcolm X makes it public, and he says that when he made it public, he was condemned by the Negroes. So this wasn't a secret that they held back not to let the devil know. And after this is one thing that brothers and sisters must realize also. After saying this, if it wasn't true, if Master Farad Muhammad wasn't Allah, who was protecting Malcolm X and the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad after they made this claim? Because we have many black leaders who has said not even anything close to this and has been assassinated. So why wasn't the Honorable Elijah Muhammad or Minister Malcolm X assassinated after saying this? Why didn't Malcolm X, after saying this, why didn't he come to the public talking about how he feared his life, or he feared for his life, like he would say that he feared for his life after he left the nation? He let it be known. His house was firebombed. All kind of stuff was happening to the brother that wasn't happening before. And Malcolm X, talking about that assassination of Kennedy, he always made statements like that about these devils all the time, and he never talked about his life being threatened. The messenger never talked about he was worried about his life, and they making claims like this. So if Master Farad Muhammad is not Allah, then you have to explain how was the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad able to tell them, after he's telling them that Master Farad Muhammad did this big work, that if you kill one of my least ones, then he will kill 10 of your best ones. How can you make that claim like that if you don't represent the God? How could you say that? What would make you be brave enough to even challenge the white man in that capacity if you don't have a God, or you don't have no power backing you that could stand up for you after you make these claims? This is something that I want Anton Beatty and all of those who are like him to deal with. Deal with this. We hear how you don't agree with the teachings. Now tell us about the work of the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad, because there's more examples where the messenger's followers have challenged white authority. But until next time, brothers and sisters,